Wendy, great to have you with us. Tell us the toll that it is taking on children being cooped up inside, isolated from the community.
Well, I think probably the most difficult part for kids is missing out on all the social interaction, because play, especially make-believe play, is all about social learning, right? And how they grow. But I want to pull, parents off the worry train a bit, because with the younger children, what they really need is a secure attachment with their primary attachment figures, their parents. So they're having a field day. The parents may be a little stressed, but things are actually very normal. I always say a baby's home is its parents' body. And so having parents home maybe go a long way to creating secure attachments. And I also want to remind people that middle schoolers and teenagers, they've always maintained their relationships digitally. They're far ahead of it than we are.
Yeah, for sure. How do we explain this to children so that it's not overwhelming?
Well, I think the most important thing for parents is they learn to modulate and self-regulate their own emotions. And that doesn't mean suppress or pretend that everything's hunky-dory. I think having an honest, open expression of your own emotions, if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling scared, put language to that so that children can see that modeled, and then also show emotional management. Like, mom feels really afraid today, but I'm comforted by the fact that we have helpers out there, the scientists who are looking for a vaccine, the doctors and nurses who are helping to heal people. And so that makes me feel hopeful. So the kids get an array of emotions, but trying to suppress your emotions, trust me, they're little sponges and they pick it all up.
Yeah, they're very, very perceptive, aren't they? Will this have long-term psychological effects on young kids, do you think?
I don't think so. I think, in fact, it's good. I think it's good to have parents who aren't so busy and aren't running out for very long work days. I think in the long run, this is teaching families about having family dinner together every night, about doing jigsaw puzzles and playing games. And I remind those parents who are forced to homeschool their kids that baking and decorating cookies is both a math lesson, a chemistry experiment, and an art project, okay? So don't worry. The kids have neuroplasticity. They're going to catch up occasionally.
I'm going to have to remember that next time, Wendy, when I try to bake with my 4-year-old twin boys, because it was a disaster.
Exactly.
But I guess it's not just the kids, it's also the parents, because even though it is that family time and people are definitely being more connected, they are reconnecting, and we are hearing that from our friends, from each other. People are feeling frustrated, as we heard in that package just before. That mother, frustrated, irritated, on the verge of tears, the boredom sets in. It can be an unhealthy environment.
And it can stress the marital dyad, right? The adult romantic relationship can be under a lot of strain. You have to remember there are two great fears here. Fear of a potential health risk for you or a family member, and fear of financial ruin. And these are very weird. I call them the background drumbeat to everything we do during the day. And I think the most important thing is to discuss these fears with your spouse. And also, this is a great opportunity to practice communication skills. My favorite little trick is called a communication sandwich. It starts out with a layer of love, followed by a layer of something a little hard to chew on, and then backed up with another layer of love. So it starts out with a compliment, and then an ask, and then a compliment again, so that the person will stay open and hear what you're trying to say.
I'm loving this advice. Wendy, what is your advice for everyone to remain sane?
We know this will pass. I have teenagers and college students in my house, and I tell them to journal, 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 journal. But besides the fact that it's really good for your mental health, because it creates space between your emotional experience and then your eyes reading it later. But also, these are important documents. People have been sending me poems, letters, and photographs from the great pandemic of 1918. And I have been devouring them with so much interest. And I really encourage everybody, young people and old people alike, to document their experiences, because in many generations coming up, they will look to us and go, really? You lived through the great pandemic of 2020? Yes, we did. And we'll have lots to tell.
Yeah, it is. It's an incredible time, absolutely. Wendy Walsh, fantastic to get your insight. Thank you for that.